Demon1, one of the best unsigned players, joins the team, pops off, wins them a game, multiple games actually, and he's not even the best part about what happened last week. There's been max drama everywhere. Demon1, we'll talk about him, but N4RRATE has done even something crazier so far, failed at being a duelist. Josh, I need to know your takes on N4RRATE first over here, and we'll come back to Demon1. Stay tuned for that. N4RRATE, before we get into the social situation of it, talk to me about his gameplay. You've got to even cast over this a little bit. What's been happening with N4RRATE?
Okay, well, dude, you shouldn't have set me up for the gameplay analysis first, because I feel like that's the harsher part of what's going on. Like, okay, so I do want to apply a little bit of context though, because there was a clip of him at the end of the match. I think it was against 100 Thieves. And he's distraught, he's in tears, his team are around him, John's saying, hey, listen, man, it's okay to cry in these situations because that means that you care. That clip has now been taken down because apparently N4RRATE didn't want it to be aired and the social media manager just showed it anyway. But here's the thing. I think it makes people more sympathetic to N4RRATE, and I actually think it's a good thing to have that kind of content out there, even though it might feed into this narrative that he's like an emotional player or can't handle the stress or whatever. I don't care about that too much. If you look at the difference in how the community was talking about N4RRATE from one day to the next when that clip was showcased, every single piece of N4RRATE like based discussion prior to that clip was about how bad he was playing on Waylay, which is why I didn't want to begin with you asking me how was his gameplay analysis, because I would have just had to say the same thing.
Are you starting a new drama of this was all contrived by Sentinels to take the story away?
It's clearly not contrived, is it? But if there was, if in theory you had a PR manager, this I think would be one of the better ways of doing it, because it humanizes him, bro. Instead of just being, he is the shit Waylay player on Sentinels, it's like, oh, this guy's actually trying as hard as he can. He has huge expectations on his shoulders and he's coming up short, which is a more human way of framing it. But at the end of the day, like, if you're asking me about the gameplay analysis, bro is lost out there. Like, there's a massive difference between him and some of the other top Waylay players. But also, I just think duelists. Last year, when they played him on duelists in double duelist comps, it wasn't good either. I think he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get to that kind of level, and I think that's going to be really tough. I think the role swap's been a bad move for him generally.
Yeah. I think it was interesting. For my own entertainment, I decided, and I probably will do this for other Sentinel games as well, to just bring up the YouTube chat of the just official stream and to see what people were saying. And honestly, it's hilarious. You should try it. It's so funny. But a lot of it was just, a lot of it is just hating on N4RRATE. Now, what I loved was, in there, by the way, there are some people who can see that everyone's hating on N4RRATE, and they are just rage baiting the other chatters in the official VCT broadcast, being like, N4RRATE's the best Waylay player. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just rage baiting the other chatters in there. And it was so funny. Anyway, so if you are doing that in the official stream chat, then keep doing it.
Keep it up.
It made my night. But to talk about N4RRATE, yes, I've made a couple of videos about Sentinels, and whilst their overall game, I think, in terms of their 2 losses, improved against 100 Thieves, there is clearly a problem, and it doesn't help that he's playing against Timatino, who's arguably the best.
Who's the best Waylay? Yeah, like in terms of how he's using the modern version of Waylay.
Yeah,
dude,
you see the two comparisons
so hard.
Yeah, exactly. So that definitely didn't help either. But the thing is, and we'll come to this later in the show, like, you don't have to force it. We like a lot of the teams that are doing all right are playing their styles. It's not necessarily like forcing. Yes, probably like if you have an amazing Yoru and an amazing Waylay and you can play them together, that's probably the best thing you can do. But you don't have to. I mean, even a team like 100 Thieves, they aren't doing that, and they're doing pretty well, their opponents. So I think there's a lot of different ways they could go. And look, N4RRATE, he's struggling on duelist. Cool. But we know he's a good player. Like, we've seen it on other roles. Well, he's thrived.
Yeah, on other roles, though. On other roles,
yeah,
right?
And
he's originally a duelist player in Tier 2. Yeah, you could do that with this team even, right? Because you could have Redux be the main duelist player on the team. And I think that would be a smarter direction for them to go in. But I think Kaplan's already invested a lot of time and attention into the guy. And I think at this point it's like a pet project to try to get the best out of him on duelist. I don't know, maybe he's flying in scrims and stuff. But
surely Kaplan has to know, like, if he is, because the heat is on him as well, right? If you're talking about Sentinels heat, where the drama is, it's Number 1, Narrate. Number 2, Kaplan, right? A lot of people aren't happy with kind of where the team is. So, I mean, sometimes football managers do this as well, right? Where like, oh, people are unhappy that you're not playing a player, so you just play them once in one game, show them that it doesn't work, take the heat off you. Oh yeah, he was right. He's not very good. Like, and then what would you want me to do, guys? He wasn't very good, was he? So I would say change the roles. If it doesn't work, then Kaplan's gonna shove Narrate out there to save his own skin.
I mean, okay, think about it this way. You guys had this point, Josh. You said Narrate was lost a bit in the server. What's the opposite of lost?
Found.
And the points where he was found the most for me was when he was second in, when he was still on Waylay, but he wasn't doing the dive stuff. I think you guys are right on the nose with just get him on a different duelist or change the systems up a little bit as to who's playing what to let this guy have some info before he goes in. The best he's played is when he's extracted all of Waylay's kit and baited one player. There's like moments, I think, in the very first game when they were playing Furia, maybe it was split, maybe it was down at the bottom, but basically everybody's gone in. Someone's not in front of him. Could have been Caillou, could have been Redux. And then he walks through, gets a 3K, double shot on rafters, one on backside. Like when he has information, when he's back in 2025 playing Sova and his scan has, you know, made someone shoot a bullet. Like, but that's the double up after that, right? Like one moment in
get John Cutie on Waylay. Apparently that guy can frag.
John KD going in first? Whoa, that's a big change for the team.
It's not a serious proposal. That's not a serious proposal.
No, I'm just saying.
John KD is devious from you, by the way. That is devious.
John KD.
He's actually... Okay, no, I have not been aware of this co-streaming meme, but it's a great one. That is a really good one.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing is, though, at the beginning, like when he was playing on Breeze, I would agree with you that I think he was saving too much. But he's actually just been frying every other game. Like he's touched by God at the moment, and he's watching as everything around him crumbles to dust. It is absurd how much John's having his best form of his entire career, while Sentinels are struggling.
I want to touch on Sen a bit more and on this entire situation, but as we tap this one, let's jump back to the first real quick for the people who are interested. Demon1. I'm not sure if that went through. Did that go through the gong? I have a thing on my question where, I have to hit that gong every time Demon1 gets a kill, and we were spamming that thing in the C9 Envy game. Oh my dear God, this guy
it lasted forever.
That, and he also dropped like 37. He almost broke, like he was close to breaking the kill record. It's been happening like 3 times now in a few BO3s across the planet. But Demon1 specifically, I mean, let's talk about maybe the interview from people who were just watching Plat Chat, jumped into what's happening now. I don't know why I keep doing this reverse. I'll give you the gameplay context, for example, first then, I guess, before we jump into the interview. Gameplay-wise, this guy comes in. Oxy, unfortunately, had a family emergency, could not play. Shout out Oxy. There's a fundraiser for him as well on Twitter if you want to go find it to help him out with his situation. But Demon1 jumps in. The system changes around Demon1. I think EMEA and everyone after the interviews have said, Demon1, what do you want to do? We'll work around you. Sometimes he's calling, I want to peek mid in the round. I think it was Athena who was talking about it on Plat Chat. She had like a listen in. And Zelsis would then just create a super strat around whatever Max wanted to do round 1. Like, oh, you want to fight mid? Zeppa, you're there on double doors in Pearl. Everybody else work the extrems. And they would just roll like that. So they focus on the sub first, which I think is such a cool approach from the coach and the team. And dude, TMV, these guys fried. They absolutely fried.
I mean, yeah, well, I'll get on to some other points as we carry on this discussion later. But yes, in terms of his overall play, and I think Demon1 is that kind of player, right? Like, I think it's smart from C9. You know, like if you're Vitality and you've got Unfake coming as a sub, you're not going to say to Unfake, bro, you call the round and we're going to set you up, Unfake. We're going to make sure you win us this round. But when you got Demon1
Dude, you are just cooking up even more drama, bro. What are you swinging at Unfake
Unfake has done
no
very
reason?
well. I don't want to besmirch Unfake. I understand there's a bold brethren here. You got to back him up. He's done very well. He's playing Sova. They have changed the roles to make him more comfortable. That's fair, but they're not calling rounds for him, I don't think.
Okay.
However, for Demon1, it makes sense because he is that guy. He is that player. I mean, if he was just on any team, I would say in almost every team, you're going to say, Demon1, you know, let's set you up for success. You go and drop 37 for us and win a map, right? That makes sense. I mean, that's how Cloud9 work around Oxy, so it makes sense that, you know, that's how they might want to work around with Demon1 as well. So, yeah, I think that it helps. I think that he's gone to a good situation here in Cloud9, like in terms of subbing in, because I think that system is probably well suited for him. But as you rightly point out, I mean, he has made the most of that opportunity.
Yeah, but I mean, also credit to Penny for being able to actually fill in for Oxy's role too, without really skipping a beat. Obviously, he's not dropping Oxy numbers necessarily or playing with Oxy levels of aggression. Like you said, they are playing much more around Demon1. But if it had been a straight up Demon1 in for Oxy's role, playing Oxy's position, I couldn't think of two more different players, bro. The Oxy is sending it on their attack sides and like extremely aggressive, overheat central, and you're trying to keep a leash on the guy because his natural tendency is to want to go and do more and do more and do more. And I think that he's got into a really good position, actually, Oxy, where he understands that about himself and is doing better at not overheating. But that's his tendency. Demon1's the opposite, man. Like, Demon1 is more of the, like, slow, controlled, Aspas style, gonna take an angle, gonna take an early peek, but then make sure that he has an opportunity to escape. So being able to put him on the chamber, I think, is just perfect. Like, it's the exact opposite of what we were discussing with N4RRATE. The role fits, the system fits, everything inside of the server fits. He just also needs a PR manager, the same way N4RRATE does.
Yeah, if you guys saw, there was an interview that we got to do asking some questions about, yo, Demon1, like, you know, how did things go? I think one of the things was, it might have gone, like, for some reason, it was Bren's question, and Bren was asking, what did you do in the offseason to, like, get better while, you know, things weren't working out in terms of trials for other teams? And the boys just says, listen, first of all, the trials didn't go well because I have a thing in my contract clause that didn't let me join G2. I think we structured it as well of, like, Baby Bay's found the spot on the team, but you haven't. And he said, I clear Baby Bay. Like, there's no way I would ever lose a spot to Baby Bay ever in my life. And, you know, the only reason I'm not on the team is because of contractual issues with LEV. And then past
LEV
that,
pipe up, they tweet out.
Yeah. What did LEV tweet?
They were tweeting like, oh, we didn't put, because then everyone is accusing LEV. Oh, boo LEV, they put him in contract jail. So then LEV are like, oh, we didn't put him in contract jail. We promised, we didn't do it. And then Demon was like, no, they didn't put me in contract jail, but you guys just don't understand. So yeah, it's all been a bit hectic.
What do you mean? I communicated to you and you listened to me and you took the wrong thing out of that. You fucking idiots. It's like, yeah, there is some level actually of responsibility to communicate effectively in the first place so that people are not just guessing and speculating. I mean, Valin has actually previously talked about this on stream. It just didn't get very much traction at the time, where he said that from Valin's perspective, what he had previously said is that they didn't want to pay a very large salary because that was already part of. So it's not necessarily the buyout, right? Like, yes, when one player goes to another team, you often do have to pay a buyout, but LEV were willing to waive that allegedly. But you also are paying the salary that was previously negotiated with LEV in almost every scenario. And so I think that what Valin had previously alluded to was they could pick up Demon1 for mega bucks that he had already negotiated with LEV, or they could pick up Baby Bay for a fraction of the price because Baby Bay was working as our job, and that doesn't pay player money, bro.
As he sits in his well-cottage mansion here on holiday.
Eat the rich, bro. Eat the players.
Oh my god.
Look at this champagne socialist over here.
I just find it
I'm
funny.
a chicken nugget socialist, bro. I'm a corn chicken nugget socialist.
It's just hilarious that this is the guy who, like, you know, he was saying, you know, fuck everyone on stage, to like being, I need to be super positive and I want to have the best attitude of all time on stream.
It's so funny.
The first opportunity you give him is fuck Baby Bay, fuck LEV, I'm the GOAT. Further questions? Any other questions? That's wild. I gotta respect that.
I saw someone in a Reddit thread talking about this, about like how Baby J went to Inspire and how Demon1 should rebrand as Angel1 and just be really nice to everyone and pretend, and then Demon1 comes out every so often.
But also Inspire too. We won't talk about Inspire for a long time, but he fits the bill. He also is like the quintessential guy who was the, you know, bad boy, but also people didn't like him being like that. So it wasn't even like he got the heel status. And then he's gone through the rebrand, grinding through tier 2, earning his spot back. First game in tier 1, he's there shooting bodies and teabagging and not defusing the spike because he's like deliberately fucking with the player. Like these people can't resist, bro. These people cannot resist the level of learning and maturation. It does go. It's a slow process, even if they are on that process.
There are ups and downs. And There's ups and downs.
Yeah, but man, it's fun to watch. Like, the fact that Demon1 was doing a VOD review of his game and then calling out not being excited about his ace is also just, it's just really funny stuff. It's like, it's not stuff that matters, but because the players have egos, and because to some degree you need an ego, like I think the confidence and the ego for Demon1 is inherently, inextricably tied to his ability to perform at the top level. Like when you listen to the way that he talks about himself, like for example, I would never lose a spot to Baby Bay, or the way that he's talking about like how good he thinks he is in previous years and the inevitability of his success. Like he's like permanently manifesting that he is the best player in the world. And so when he goes into a server, he's swinging like he knows he's going to hit the shot. And obviously he's very talented too. Like if you go into ranked right now, the person listening to this show, even with all the confidence in the world, you ain't becoming Demon1. But when you have that level of talent and that level of confidence, I think it does do something special. But man, it also creates some funny situations. And like some people were reading into the podcast that you did with C9 as well. I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to that.
He had like he has Zels as a question or something, right? That was like the most viral thing.
I mean, they were having a back and forth discussion, yeah. But I think he's got quite a blunt, short manner about him, and it's not because like when you listen to the way that he interacts in the game, like in the comms. From the snippets that we heard as well, he's also just super focused. You know, like Zelsis and Zeppa were you know, nattering to each other, like popping off after a round and having fun, bringing the energy and the excitement up. And he's like, guys, let's focus on the next round. And he's like, you know, he's super locked in on what he needs to do. And I would imagine that he's very good to play with in terms of like, you know, being very clear, being very focused, all of that stuff. But he does have a blunt manner about him that I can imagine would be a little bit more difficult to connect with as somebody that you're, you know, trying to give feedback to and enjoy your time with outside of the game and that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. He's an interesting figure.
Yeah. Some people were born to play.
I also think, though, I think he got unlucky. This is the thing, right? A lot of the trials and stuff that would have happened, you know, when people are making rosters have probably happened before people perhaps realized that, like, Chamber would be super viable on, you know, a lot of maps, right? And therefore, like, you know, I do think we've ended up, you know, we talk about certain teams, you know, and we'll get into it later on, like maybe some of the problems they've got, a lot of it might be roles in the current meta and stuff. And maybe that's because, you know, they formed a team before they probably fully realized, like how many different directions or what the right direction for them is. We'll probably be talking about quite a few teams. They'll be like, oh, they're not like with Sentinels, right? Oh, they're not going in the right direction for the team that they've got right now, and trying to force something that maybe isn't super comfortable for their players. And I think if you told every VCT coach or general manager, like in September, oh, by the way, like you can play pretty much perma Chamber, I'm sure people then would have gone, well, maybe Demon1 is a good option, because I'm pretty sure you said this before, Josh, like he's played more Chamber than anyone else.
I think he's played like nearly 150 maps of Chamber. Yeah,
Jesus.
It's great.
Yeah,
like an insane amount. I'm interested in looking up actually now. How many maps has Ye played of Chamber? Come on, because I mean, the guy who absolutely dominated in 2022 might have actually played less Chamber. I'm not sure.
He probably has done, I would have thought. I can check now for you.
Unfortunately, yeah, if you wouldn't mind checking, because the internet at my Welsh cottage can barely handle me running this.
Ye has played 115 games of Chamber.
So he's played less.
He's actually played quite a lot more Jet than Chamber.
Yeah, because that was what he was playing for a lot of the previous years. Yeah, I think that makes sense. But yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, I think this is one of the reasons that Cryo is super relevant and good at the moment too, because Cryo's just so easily fitting into teams by being able to play Chamber, by, you know, throw some Veto in there, that kind of thing. When the meta shifts, like maybe 100 Thieves will have to do some adaptation, but Oxy will be back by then, so Cloud9 won't need to.
True. I mean, here's the thing. The number one thing I think the question we're left with is, how is this guy not in tier 1? And to jump back over to finish talks on like the Sentinel sides of things, the question is, how is this guy in tier 1 on Duelist for N4RRATE, right? Like, to come back to the social aspect of it as well, I wanted to give the take that since Sen has lost Tens, you know, Saucy, some of their biggest like content names inside the game, do they have to curate content like this? Do they have to force up a dramatic thing that they know can pop off to get the followers and the numbers.
We could fix all of the above problems.
That would work.
Well, here's another one they could sign. They could sign Jonah P. They could sign, I think the streets have been saying sign Jonah P if there's problems, right? Because you guys are talking about John QT, Narrate. I've heard you say the name Redux, right? No one's saying Cortez here because that guy's hiding in a smoke somewhere. He's doing his thing. He's lurking. No, Caillou. What about Caillou? I mean, this is the guy who is leading the squad right now. And there've been questions on his name, bro. Swords are coming at his throat, man. They're saying, "Wow, I know, dude." There was sarcasm on that one round.
Hear me out.
All right.
John QT is in God mode now that he's not IGLing. You cannot take the IGL away from this team because otherwise you end up with old John, who's, just he's fine. He's fine. But you've got God John. So keep Caillou,
you're not looking at
keep
all
God
the changes.
John.
You're a sheep.
Keep whoever else you want. Sign Demon1. Tell Demon1 to tell everyone else to shit on the team. And then you'll win.
Listen, you're looking at it from just that. What else did he lose? TMV, what else did he lose? He lost second. There is no tens. He lost every big pillar around him. And that's why now he's also had to level up. That's one of the biggest reasons why there's more for him to eat on the plate. If me and you went to dinner, TMV, to an all-you-can-eat sushi spot, and they give us 100 pieces of whatever, how much would you be eating, right? Not as much if you and Josh went, because I'd be devouring that shit, right? Zekin's not here. I'm the Zekin of eating sushi at an ace spot. You feel me? And with me not here, you, the John KD, the K stands for koi, the D stands for delicious, right? You, the other fish eater who likes eating that stuff. Like, you are still tapping in, man. You are still you get to tap in more now. You get to have more on your plate. And I feel like that's one of the reasons he gets the fracture. There's more room. Some of the systems are being built around John because yes, he's not IGLing, but he's a piece now. He's not a bishop. He's not a king. He's a pawn now. He gets to actually see some fights. He gets to diagonally. He gets to en passant.
That's a weird.
John gets to en passant.
He's not a bishop or a knight. He's now a pawn. You've downgraded him.
Yeah, because the pawn gets to en passant, man. The pawn.
I get he's taking fights, but.
He's like all the pawns. He's all the pawns.
The pawns often end up just locked in the whole match.
My chess rating's 500, man.
He's becoming a queen, right? He's like hit the end of the board and he's turned into a queen.
Exactly.
I mean, you can make the analogy work.
There we go.
You're just stuck on en passant for some reason.
I wanted to include en passant, man. He has the op to en passant. I love that move. I learned about it this year. It's crazy.
I know. Do you know what else you love? And I know what you love. You love Veto, bro. So, you love the Veto. I want to move on to our next topic. You forgot about me because people forgot about these two agents, right? In particular, that we're going to talk about, Veto and then KO, which is TMV's little baby. But Veto has been your baby for forever, to be honest. Like since Veto released, you've been talking about how Veto should be good.
Frame one. And like, dude, to watch some of the Veto drop down, like 7, I think had like the best opportunity of all time to like, I think he was facing what's it called? Sky, Sage, Fade, Brimstone, and one other guy that throws shit.
Raze.
And I was like, oh my, Raze? Yeah. So I'm like, holy fuck. No matter where 7 goes, there's value. And the one thing we haven't seen that TMV actually realized before I did was the fact that Veto can also deny one of the most common things on Bind, because this was a Veto pick on mine. We'll talk about all the others. Viper Orb coming into short, one of the most defaulty thrown things ever. And he denied it like 3 times. And there was an eco round where they threw a Viper Orb. Veto instantly denied it. And then the attacking side eco rushed thinking that smoke would pop up. Everybody died. There were like 3 defenders ready to go. Sage walls broken. Raze rockets. How many Raze rockets did 7 to 9 on both split and bind, bro? It was crazy. And the other thing, oh my god, the funniest round, I wish we could show it. I don't think anyone's played against Veto. The interceptor's active. It's broken 2 utilities. My Raze comes in with an extra large pizza, bro. Oh my god, the boombot. And decides to throw it in front of interceptor, and it disintegrates like it's Thanos snapped in front of her hands. And she's like, what the fuck? The interceptor's over her. It broke dog, it broke blind.
I was watching PaperX play against Global Esports on Split, and they'd already had some rounds where, like for example, they're playing a post, and you know that the Raze is going to be ready to go for the retake, and so you can pop the interceptor. They threw the trip onto Heaven in post plant, to stop the double blast pack retake, which I thought was a really nice idea too. Like get an aggressive trip into heaven and it's also invisible until you're on top of it. So that was a nice idea. But then there was another situation where they've thrown the interceptor over towards like screens area, and Jing comes flying back in with a raise rocket ready to go, and he like hops around for a while, and he's like, I can't throw this thing. no one breaks the interceptor at all. This was on the B site, actually, now that I think about it. It wasn't on A, as far as I can remember. And I don't think people also realize that interceptor requires LOS. So, like, there's a big smoke down, and he can shoot the rocket from inside the smoke. But he doesn't know that he can shoot the rocket from inside the smoke because he thinks it's going to get deleted. And in the end, he's just hopping around with the rocket on his shoulder for ages, and then he just shoots it into it anyway because it's about to expire. It's like the players are so unused to playing against Veto that they're making very basic errors, like the kind of stuff that you'd be giggling about if it happened in a ranked game. But it's just because they're not used to it. Like, it's getting so much good value in spots where it shouldn't. But it's also not getting value in spots where it should because the players who are playing Veto are less comfortable with it because it's new.
Yeah, well, I think to talk about global, we saw another instance this morning. You might not have seen this, Josh, in Pacific. It's a 2v1 for Zeta against global on Abyss. Udotan is in a 1v2, and he's playing against a Sova and an Astra. A Sova with Sova ult and an Astra with Suck. And he gets a kill like just before that and gets his ult. Pops his ult.
Yeah.
And then, so like they're both scrambling. They both have to like run.
They were
sprint
so
time.
far away. They were like literally like they flipped the map and they're like they think the round's won. And suddenly you hear, I forget what the voice line is. I said it and it was so funny. But like he says his voice line and they go, huh? Running, and both of them die. Like they both just died to him holding wide.
That happened.
Yeah, burn them all to dust. I don't know. It's funny as hell.
That sounds like Brimstone, bro. There's no way that's Veto.
Something like that.
It's something like that. Now, hold on. I'll search it while you guys are
this
talking.
exact situation,
it's crazy value.
This exact situation happened, by the way, on PaperX versus Global Esports game on Breeze too, because PaperX were playing a Brimstone, and Forsaken had Molly on the spike for a B post planned, and he sat there with his iPad about to ult as well, and if he gets the ult off, he wins the game, and Evolution just gets popped. Udotan sits on the spike. Forsaken's then forced to swing instead of ulting and dies. When if he gets the ult off at all against anybody else, he's sealed up the round completely. So the Vetoes are, I mean, the Evolution is really powerful. That ult is super, super good.
Yes.
I think
and
it's
that's
just
the only thing though. Like, it's not to interrupt, but I think Evolution and then just like 7 almost on the interceptor value has been the only good things I've seen. Like when Udo first started on GE using that interceptor, he was keeping it in pit randomly, like not as an adjustment on Abyss, like instead of putting it up top. Like there were some things where it's like, oh, a coach has told you what to do. When this agent is like Yoru, you have to adapt to what's happening and what you think might actually, you have to work off plays that have happened as well and adjust your kit. Of course, Evolution, it's just like an Arena Ultimate install. It makes you play better. You don't want to dodge stuff anymore. It's a counter to what, the plays that TMV was describing. But some of these TPs are still terrible, and I feel like they're one of the best parts of his kit, the crosscut. You can go across the map. Like, I think one thing that everybody was applauding was, oh my God, 7 also has a lineup that goes from bind B to A. That's so cool. Brother, the guy has teleports. You can start the round by going A, leaving a TP behind you, precisely putting that thing down wherever you want, double TPing back, having your whole setup ready. You don't need the cross map lineups. You don't need and then people are not TPing across the map either. There was one moment where 7 also double TP'd and made it in time to kill the Brimstone, and I was like, Veto value again.
I saw that.
That's sick. We need more of that. Like there's moments where you can follow a Brimstone to the teleport across the map. Maybe people don't want that, but a lot of what I'm seeing right now is people are using it like chamber, which is cool. Transferable skill is there, but we need to update it. There was one as well. I think it might have been Udo in this one, or it might have been 7 as well. He knew he was dead, so like to activate the rest of his team, he throws a TP behind like the enemy team, and everybody turns around to try to shoot him. I think he still gets one, and then his teammates trade him as well. I mean, there's so much stuff. The agent, and you can clearly see counterplay wise, it's amazing. The kids in the comments will say, Shio, breach. Play breach, brother. You're gonna lock a team to playing breach then to counter this guy. That's another nerf to your whole roster. There's one guy who gives them a problem, and you have to. What if they just don't even play Veto? But it's been insane so far.
Oh, can
one
I
of my
just
big
quickly say
problems
about
with Veto.
Shio?
Yeah, go on.
Can I
go
just
on, go on.
quickly say another point? A great point that Shio, and this is, if any pros are watching this playing Veto, this is a great Shio wager point. This is someone who's put the time and effort into Veto, and you can tell. Because he said, and I was like, this guy's a genius. For the first time ever, I thought this guy's a genius. He said, when you have your evolution, it was round 12, I think, of that bind game of Giants, and Seven has ult, and he ults, obviously, because it's round 12, so you might as well. But he also puts his interceptor on the same site. And Shio correctly calls out, if you are ulted, put your interceptor on one site, put you on the other site, and now you have ways of just stop whichever exec they go for. Someone's not ruined. Like util is not affecting someone. Their util will not work no matter whether they go A or B. And yeah, I think there's still quite a way to go. Sideshow, continue.
Yeah, I mean, what I was gonna say is that one of my problems with Veto is that it's so dependent on like what comp you happen to be running it into and how much your opponents have thought about Veto. Because like, for example, the bind example that you brought up earlier, like that was very clear that they would not have been wanting to run that into a Veto. Had they known that the Veto was coming, because this was the first time it was shown, wasn't it? It was the first time Seven had played Veto.
Yeah.
It was the first time Veto had been used in EMEA even. Like they did not know what they were running into here. They're not going to be playing, like certainly they're not going to be playing Sage into this. But they might
like
also
perfect
not be playing
Veto,
a range of other stuff.
Sky,
dude,
Sage,
it's crazy. It's
Viper,
absolutely
Raze,
crazy.
Brim, like everything. But
they're also they're never
doing
doing
a good idea.
They'll be doing that Viper orb lineup again against a Veto either, because
that's power. That's power.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true, Sideshow.
It's
to be
decent.
honest, I think you overestimate how you're thinking of top teams. And I'll give you an example of how I know this is because teams will Viper spit A short and they'll still throw that Viper orb down there. They aren't thinking about it. They just do it. They just do it. Bro, I watched Shados.
But that's a mistake.
Shock dart B main on Breeze against a Astra Viper Jet Yoru Sova comp. He's shock darting the middle of the Breeze choke for a Cypher trip, and they are not playing a single Sentinel. There is no util he could break with that shock dart, and he's still doing it. These pros, sometimes they're on autopilot.
They
throw the Viper
on autopilot. They are, definitely. But what I'm saying is that the game plan would be to not do it. Like, whether or not the pro actually remembers the game plan, the game plan coming into the game would be, let's throw, for example, let's throw a different version of the Viper wall so that it covers off Lamps, different Nats walls, like very original one, or something along those lines. Or let's have a different idea, like where we play the Astra and we smoke down that area for the Viper to be able to take time. It's like whatever it is in that regard. I think the Veto is going to be more difficult to get value of the later we go.
Man, you think about it, but I feel like in adjustment, that character is just insane. Like the fact that it just makes you pivot in general is huge. And I think, yes, playing around the interceptor is the thing that most teams need to start to do. But I keep stressing the fact that it's the teleports that just give you value that can't be denied. Like that's the key in this kit, because if you have good TPs up, it doesn't matter how they're playing around your interceptor. Like you become a Yoru, you become a Chamber from like, you know, back when he was the most broken agent in the history of Valorant. You get to actually be where the fight is multiple times, and that's the most valuable thing than having an impact in Valorant. You can give that as a tip for people that play ranked, is play agents that get you to where the fight is all the time. Like that's why Yoru is so good with the gate crashes. Like the fact that he can just be there, like you can do 2-3 splits, you have a Veto and a Yoru, like where's the op going? That's the other thing. Like the reason I thought this guy was so broken off round start is what TMV was talking about, or off the start of his release, was the fact that is the reason that winning pistol round is so important for you is that it gives you an eco advantage. When you get Veto ultimate, you have op advantage, and you can do it twice in a half. It's as big of an advantage as having, in my opinion, that bonus advantage on an anti-eco. Like you have a scope that cannot be denied on the entire map, and then on top of that, now with Yoru in the mix.
Well, you said things that can't be denied. I'm gonna do this. You are powerless.
So
because
here's the other thing.
About KO.
Evolution does not get hit.
Evolution. Yeah, you get
and
an ult. I've got a knife.
Here's the last
what
thing.
if you aren't ulted?
Okay, if you're not ulted, the interceptor, right? When you proc it, it stays alive. If you die as Veto, your interceptor will stay alive. Like,
good for you.
It's insane. KO can't counter
Good for
it.
you. KO. Let me talk about KO. because
Okay,
you're
go
right
ahead.
to point out a lot of the agents that are good right now are your Chambers, your Yorus, your Vetos, your TP agents, right? There was
Yes.
some classic examples. Again, who would have thought Pacific Esports would have such a remarkable impact in terms of like their gameplay, in terms of things that I've seen that I liked. But there were multiple rounds, even though they lost on Abyss. I mean, look, they are, Pacific, they're not the best team, but
They're not the greatest.
there was multiple rounds again where the KO value is insane. The KOs that I have seen, the underhand flashes are like, I mean, people are like, I've seen multiple Phoenixes this year already. There's maybe even been more Phoenixes than KOs. I don't know. It's close. The underhand flash is a Phoenix flash. It's as good as a Phoenix flash now. They have buffed it, and it is really, really strong, right? And on top of that, of course, you can still throw it long if you want to and set up a duelist, right? So that's just better. The thing is, as well, there was some great examples in that Pacific game of, I think Westside is playing Chamber, right? And you talked about, Josh, like people not being maybe used to the Veto and how to play against it. I think you saw multiple instances of like, obviously people know how to play against KO, but it's been a while. Maybe they probably aren't playing against a ton of KOs in scrims because you aren't seeing a lot of it right now. And so there's a round where like 7 ults, and Westside is just, he's just out there in the open. And he's like, he hasn't thought about it at all. Like, oh, what if I get ulted and then I can't TP away? And so he just ends up in the middle of B site on his own, just like out in deer in the headlights. He's actual deer POV car coming, like truck coming at him with all the lights, and he's just like, oh no, and he just gets smacked by the whole team, and it's like, what is going on? And I think against what is good right now, even stuff like Waylay, right? Like even a good example is Waylay as well in terms of like for instance, right? Giants again, they're playing solo Waylay with a breach, and it's like you don't need to stun someone if they are already saturated. Like, that doesn't make sense. But you know what will help? A KO knife will help a Waylay going in and saturating someone. Because if they hit a Yoru or a Chamber or an Omen or someone who can fight back some way, well, they can't now. So now my Waylay can stay there and just easily kill them rather than having to refract back maybe. And we get that kill. So I think if you, like for instance, Giants are playing solo Waylay with a breach, who again is fucking useless, especially against double God, breach against double smokes is how the fuck you ever meant to do anything? I'm watching Flickless try and flash, and it's just like, well, there's fucking smoke there, so I can't do shit, can I? People are either in the smoke or they're outside the smoke. My flashes are hitting fucking nothing. Again, because it's breach. I've stunned someone, the stun affects them for no time anymore. And it stuns anyway, they're shit. We know this. Whereas a KO suppressing people is really good right now. With the agents that are good, the flashes are really good.
Yeah.
KO nade, solid ability, always has been pretty good. And then the ult, KO ult, good. KO is good. Play more KO. And when Yoru gets nerfed, by the way, we will, I think, just go back to KO.
Oh my god, I need to address this, man. The shit is not happening. I don't know who
This
you
shit
motherfuckers...
is happening, bro.
It is.
It's not
Yoru's
happening.
pick rate is
Inevitable.
insane.
It's
And
inevitable.
so is
It's
Omens.
inevitable.
And so is Omens. They don't change. There's certain things in this game you're not going to change. Inevitable via what?
It is inevitable. Bro,
He's not.
Bro, when you were running around with the kids on Fortnite, I was watching Jet get nerfed.
And I was playing double
Well,
the games
hold
you were
on.
watching.
Jet's like the worst example because that shit was unreal for
That was
so
game
long.
changing.
Because
Yeah.
they didn't know what they were doing
though
back
they
then,
nerfed
but
it.
they eventually
Yeah.
nerfed it.
Yeah, but it took like
In fact, they nerfed
years of it being the
but
best
think about it.
agent.
That's because you're thinking about old Jet, who was so broken that they actually did give Jet big nerfs, but Jet was so broken that it didn't matter.
They did.
Right? The 3-7-second smokes, like they took a whole smoke away and made it a lot shorter, but it still didn't matter because Jet was
Blade
that
refresher
broken.
on a right click.
Yeah, like there was so much that was broken that it took a while.
They've nerfed him, man. They've already nerfed him. The most egregious parts of his kit were, hi, I can go anywhere I want and toss a
I'm
bounce
getting
flash.
rage bait.
I'm not even
rage bait
joking,
right
bro.
now.
The most broken part of his kit, which was his ultimate, that was the
The
unfair.
only
That's the
reason
Jet right click.
Sideshow isn't red in the face is because he's on holiday.
I'm telling you,
Well,
bro.
yeah, I'm feeling calm to be honest with you. I'm feeling pretty reasonable.
We've seen solo Rays.
I think though there is a chance that it doesn't get nerfed if Waylay gets used a ton. Like if if people play solo Waylay so much because Saturate is busted, I could see a world in which the devs are thinking more about Saturate than Yoru, even though the Yoru pick rate is super high. But I just don't see how at some point throughout this year
pick rate
they
in
don't.
Pacific is? Do you want to take a guess? Don't look.
Don't look it up. All right.
Yoru's
I
pick
mean,
rate
I've
in
been
Pacific
watching a
right
lot
now.
of it, but it hasn't literally. I mean, it has almost been every game. I'm gonna say it's. I mean, if an agent is properly crazy, they end up around 70%. So I'm gonna say at the moment it's like 60%.
Chayo?
It's 100.
It's not 100, but
Damn.
it is 89 in Pacific right now.
Close.
Oh!
Close.
I mean, that's,
Which is, by the way, the
that's
best region.
ridiculous.
The best region that would buy. I mean, it is lower in the other regions, like 57, I think, in the other regions. In Americas and EMEA, it's kind of the same. But yeah, that's crazy that in Pacific,
I think the Waylay's ahead
89.
of the Yoru in terms of the meta read, though. I think the Waylay is looking nice. Solo Waylay is looking nice.
It is, but it's a trap for some teams that can't play it. That just,
Yeah,
you know,
it's a trap for
it's
certain
tough.
teams.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
if you don't have a player
stick the
that's-
rate on it.
yeah, or Yetu, or half these EMEA teams. Oh my god. But past that, for me, a lot of information here. You know, Demon1, Narrate, Veto. So much is going on. For one brain, it's too much. You have to tell a friend. And what better way than to, oh guys, my phone's not working. I would need a different plan for this. I would need, Josh, do you have anything for me at all? Like in terms of the phone?
I think I do. I think I do, actually. Because you strike me as one of the people in the group that does things the hard way, you know? You're still
Yeah,
paying for a subscription that you forgot that you had, refusing to update your phone because it still works. Why bother? You know, Shayo, I used to be that person too. And then, especially when it came down to overpaying for wireless, then we switched to Mint Mobile, baby! We switched to Mint Mobile. Now, do I get reception from Mint Mobile in Wales? No, these are for our US customers. But if you're in the United States and you're overpaying horrendously for your wireless experience, then have a look at Mint Mobile. Because, dude, you guys in the US are getting horrendously ripped off, and Mint Mobile's existing to try to fix that. You get still really good coverage, speeds, all of that kind of stuff, just without the inflated price tag. So it's the premium wireless that you expect with unlimited talk, text, data, all of that kind of stuff. And it's a fraction of the cost with extra savings on top. For a limited time, you can get 50% off your 3, 6, or 12-month plans of unlimited premium wireless. You can bring your own phone number, your own phone as well. So, you know, you just activate it with an eSIM. You don't have to worry about any of that old-fashioned kind of stuff where you had to, I don't know, get a brand new phone or a new number or something. I don't know. I've had the same number for years. For actually,
Don't say that. No.
In fact, the only time I had to change my number was when I went to the US. Was when I went to the US and I had to and didn't foolishly use Mint Mobile. I got ripped off by a normal wireless carrier and then had to change my number for years, and it was absolutely horrendous. Now I've had the same number for years and years and years. My phone number is let me read it out. So yeah. I've just been given a trial of Mint Mobile as well, actually. So I'm going to be using it next time I'm in the US. But we've had producers here at the Vodfathers who've used it and said that it was an excellent experience. So yeah, I'm going to be trying it out next time I'm there, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you're ready to stop paying more than you have to, Shayo, new customers can make the switch today, and for a limited time, get unlimited premium wireless for just $15 per month. You switch now at mintmobile.com/vodfathers. That's mintmobile.com/vodfathers. And it requires an upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months plans required. That is your $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Over 50 gigabyte may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. Additional terms apply. See mintmobile.com.
And support the show so that Sideshow can go on more holidays to Welsh villages whilst the VCT is on.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. My parents are paying for this one. I'm just hopping on with them.
Wow.
So, you know, we're not taking any money from the show for that. But also a good point to mention that we are on podcast platforms as well. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're thinking, wow, I really like this show, but I would rather watch it without being able to see their faces, then you could go to Spotify or Apple Music or wherever the hell you get your podcast form audio only content, and you'll find us there too. So subscribe to us on there, and that way you'll get notifications on both platforms when we go live, and you'll never miss a new episode.
And again, support the show. Subscribe on everything. Literally make an account if you haven't on these other platforms. Subscribe to help support us. Because look at Shayo. I mean, he is at the bottom of his clothing wardrobe. He needs some new clothes.
I gotta do laundry today. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. At the same time as that, though, if you've made it halfway, comment your favorite Black Eyed Peas song, because Meet Me Halfway is one of their songs, and we're at the halfway mark. This is not a sponsor,
Okay.
just a creative thing to get some comment going.
Not a sponsor, as if we would be sponsored by Black Eyed Peas. What are we talking about?
Give me 3 episodes. Give me 3 episodes. I'm gonna talk to Will I Am. Give me 3 episodes. My dad knows his dogs, carriers, food suppliers, truck driver, and so that guy sometimes drives to his cottage. That you might be at right now. We'll see what. Maybe I gotta talk to. Maybe you should talk to. We'll see what's up. Let's expand our brains now. We expanded our. We actually.
I got a feeling. I know that's
Dude, he's literally Googling it.
Look at this guy.
And came up with
I know Black Eyed Peas songs. I was
Name
just
one more
reminding myself
song.
of some
Name
of the
one
other
more
ones to
song.
see if any were good, but I don't think they are.
Don't Funk With My Heart. Dirty Bit. Freaking dude, there's so many good songs. What are we talking about? We've shrunken our wallets with Mint Mobile. Let's expand our brains with the Galaxy Brain
Please
Club.
do.
Rock that body.
Let's tap in with Vitality first. Yampi. The question was the pressure on his shoulders. Is his name Yampi? Is it Atlas? Because he's holding up the world when it comes to some of the best players on his back. Holy bro. He says, let me jump in duelist style. Yampi Yoru in the business.
They're just doing that so that I'm fake can carry them.
But how
They're setting up all
CMV
of their strategies around the sub.
Yampi Yoru is kind of unreal. Like Yampi in general, I think is shaping up to be the GOAT. Maybe the GOAT in a few years.
Right, can I give a little bit? Can I put a look? I don't want to like downplay Vitality necessarily, and what they've done, but I'm about to, so I guess let's take that back. But I'm like, I agree. The Yampi, Yoru, and what Vitality are doing is great. I would argue that they are the only team that we expected to be good that has actually done anything in EMEA, and maybe they're just beating up on some not as good teams right now because the EMEA is maybe quite weak. Is that a hot take?
I think
I think that's a little. It's a little bit of an unfair take in my opinion, because I think Team Liquid actually looked a lot better than I was expecting them to. That Team Liquid team.
Have you seen their second game?
No, I didn't actually. Against KC, I did not see them play against KC.
They used a different horse. Okay. So do you know? Oh my God. You know, Scream misses the molly, and Red Guy gets distracted by it. Equivalent level game. And
let's put it this way, right? Team Liquid and KC, I think, are often involved in quite gluey games. They have a propensity to, play some silly stuff, and it was Team Liquid against KC, and even though, like, Team Liquid, they looked okay for stretches, but there was also a lot of moments of what the actual fuck are they doing? So, yes, I agree, they looked alright in their Vitality game. I still think EMEA as a whole, weak.
Yeah.
But Vitality, yeah, sure. You two pop off about Yampi and Vitality. You two run it up. Go on, run on the score.
To give context for the TLKC game and how much like the actual observers even locked into how foolish it is. Last round of the actual Breeze map, I think that was the 3rd map too. Avez on Phoenix, first of all, again, hooray. And instead of watching Avez entry frag, the observers notice he has his flash held out and he's walking forward. So they cut to a wide shot of all 5 players as Avez entries. He throws the flash and B main attack, throws the flash. It hits the wall. All 5 members of the team are blind, and we catch it on the wide shot live, Josh. Like, this is the level of direction they were going for in this game.
I made a video called "Is this the worst half of Valorant of all time?" A 30-minute breakdown of KC versus Liquid first half of Breeze. Do yourself a favor. First VOD you watch of this week, make it the first half of that Breeze map, because you won't regret the amount of glue.
All right, well, maybe I need to walk back the Liquid looked all right.
No, they did in their first game.
My expectations for them were fairly poor.
If you would take one leg from a horse and change it, would it gallop the same? would you bet money on a prize-winning horse? This horse came second place, and now you're back at the stables. I don't bet on horse races. You guys would have more experience with this one.
And I've given it a cyborg leg.
Why would
Yeah,
we
you've given it,
have
no.
more
You haven't given it a cyborg. You've surgically attached a different leg to it. It's not even a cyborg leg. Would you expect that horse to get second? Is it even what's that guy called? The ship of Theseus? Is it even a Theseus? Is it a Theseus horse? Is it the same horse?
I mean, it's been damaged.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's been damaged. That first horse from Team Liquid, that was a horse that kicks. It's a horse that's got some buck to it. You feel me? It had kicks on the roster, experienced player, experience in the system, easily solvable with Nax.
Made that work with horse.
And then they take out the horse, right? And they add in the horse switches to a Batman, Wayne. Wayne is in there now. And Wayne,
You've lost it. You've lost it.
I tried.
You needed Runner to be in there or something.
Wayne just did the system with Wayne looked like, okay, this is TL's first game. It looked like a team playing for the first time. It did not look like this is the team's second game. It's like they've Men in Black flashed themselves. No, I'm just saying to defend like the fact that, you know, that what I'm saying is to up Yampy, to bring this all the way around. Oh my Jesus. To up Yampy on this, that first Team Liquid was a separate team. You can't say that Vit has some free wins because that first Team Liquid had some sauce.
You're saying it's not a free win that Vitality got against Liquid and that we should glaze the fuck out of Yampy. That's fine.
Well, I actually think that there's more of a nuanced take here for Vitality. I think it is really impressive that Yampy is like playing and they look really good. And actually, his Yoru performance is really good too. But do you remember Vitality in kickoff of last year was really good? Like they actually looked really good last year in kickoff. And do you remember one of the things that they were doing that was really impressive was that they were constantly pushing on defense and finding these like incredible ways to apply pressure to people all across the map. I remember watching them on Bind and they'd be like, you know, constantly finding timings to push out through B, always looking to re-aggress. This is what I'm noticing them doing here. And that ended up getting really hard shut down. Later on in the year, I think people started reading into that heavy. So I don't want to jump on them early because I agree with you that EMEA does look kind of weak, but
and they also might lose to BBL by the time people have watched this.
Man,
well, it's possible.
We should say that. Yeah, people might have another game of Vitality that they know whether it went well or not. Yeah, and we might end up looking stupid. But we're in the dark, just so you know.
Well, yeah,
we haven't played BBL yet.
But I think that Vitality have looked better than a lot of the other teams high hopes for, I guess is my point. Like, they've actually been able to turn it into something.
Yeah.
Well, and to give them support as well, and to, you know, top up Yampy one more time, one thing we've been expecting across the entire globe is when there's a tier gap, when there's a tier diff, the better team needs to win, blowout style. And I think Vitality is one of the only teams to be able to do that against Ulf. There's a sub roster that's been happening across the world. This GE, like, who did it just face? Was it Team Secret? Zeta. That should have been a fucking blowout. We should have had a fast day today. But dude, 3 mapper. What's going on?
First half.
Yeah, but then, you know, it's like there were some mistakes. Same thing with like the Team Secret games.
I think saying that about Global's a bit like, yeah, they're playing really impressively.
Okay, so let me.
But you might have jumped the gun a little.
Let me flip it over to another point. T1 versus Nongshim. That should be a domination situation. And what happens? Nongshim in the business. Let's actually move our brain's hemisphere from the amygdala to the hippocampus of Nongshim. Holy fuck. Where am I pulling these fucking words out of? Whoa. Talk to me.
Those are both regions of the brain, though. Yeah, damn. You went nuts. They're not very far away, though. Those are really, really close to each other.
I like to think that you went whoa as if like real Shio came back. For a second, you blanked out and like someone else took over.
Let me out. But talk to me about Nongshim, Neon, Dombi, the truth. First time for me watching Dombi. Oh my fucking god, this guy is just. He doesn't care.
You actually got to see good Dombi then, because we were watching him all last year when he was trying to force the Neon in very much not Neon meta. He's going into like, you know, he was trying to play it at like peak Tejo Breach meta, and he's just getting melted. Whereas now he's playing it, and it really looks viable. Like, it looks like you're lacking a lot of stopping power to stop him getting in. I don't know if you remember, like, moments from that game, though. Dombi is literally just wiggling his way through the choke points and into sight, and the anchor player is like, how do I kill him? How do I kill him? And they were just getting completely overwhelmed because they didn't have the stopping power to be able to stop him from running out into sights. He's completely fearless, and his movement with the Neon is beautiful. I mean, he's got a lot of the tech with how to move without sliding and still be really difficult to hit. And then when he slides and then bunny hops at the end to keep his momentum, he is devastatingly oppressive then with his shotgun tech. He is actually making it look really viable to run the Neon comps at the moment, and that's what this whole team was based on. So I think they're going to do fine. I think they're going to do really well. I mean, the win over T1 was a big win. I mean, I would say that originally T1 looked like they were going to be able to handle them. And then the deeper you got in the series, the more you were like, oh shit, actually T1 are really struggling here. Yeah. And I don't think it's... I mean, on Haven in particular, like, they did get absolutely whacked, to be fair.
They were getting whopped, yeah.
Yeah.
The corrode for that one as well, like... oh, sorry, go ahead, yeah.
I was just going to say, I didn't come out of it thinking necessarily that T1 are cooked. I definitely came out of this game thinking more, damn, Nongshim actually look really difficult to handle right now with their Neon style. Like, that looks tough. It looks like the kind of thing that could catch you off guard and beat you even if you're a pretty solid team.
Two-thirds of agreement there, because on the corrode map, the third map, Meteor looked like he was lost. Like, Meteor Waylay is something I don't want to really see again. Yeah, like even in positions, in micro, it was like, what's going on? Second thing as well, the one thing we said on our stream was, this is the first time we're watching a battle royale happen inside the game, where there's not just two teams, there's three. Like, it would actually just be Dombi on his own team sometimes, like making it harder for his teammates to entry with the walls he's throwing because they're so personable, right? And he's causing so much chaos. He's on a completely different tempo entirely from the rest of Nongshim. And I think that's one of the reasons why the stopping power is so hard. Sometimes you're expecting Dombi to come in. The Sentinels, Munchkin are, Munchkin's doing things to like expect Dombi's entry. And then it's Francis who's coming in with like, Ivy moving the normal tempo. And it's like, now they've just taken site for free. Everyone's back in art, expecting a Ferrari to drift through, and like the Ferrari's not here. The Ferrari's doing something in mid, or Dombi's like eating some calories to be able to run again afterwards, just taking the chill time. But like the variety and like the bag, the deep pocket bag that Nongshim have now, if you try to stop Dombi, they might not even use them for a round. It might just be a Francis round. And I think that's the fear from Nongshim, and that's one of the reasons they played so well.
Yeah,
I do think though it's fair what you bring up about T1. Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say about like the fact that Francis is there now as well, because I did feel like last year as well, not just like were they getting shut down meta wise, but also it felt like there was no plan B. There was like, if Danby dies, like it was over. Like if he hasn't managed to cause enough chaos, like we've lost. Like it's just straight over sometimes for Nongshim. Whereas now I feel like there is a bit more there. There is a plan B with Francis who, when he first came into the duelist role, I was like, I'm not too sure about that, but he's been really good, I think, as well. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting, but I think we should also talk about who the next opponent is.
And I was about to say, if you want to talk about plan A's and B's, there's a team that doesn't have a plan B. They've got a plan P. That's the only plan they have. Plan Primi. Dude, full sense. Also surprised. Upsets DRX. Everyone thought, well, there were a bunch of people that also did think that Full Sense are taking it the whole way. There's been like some fan, support from this team and the style they play in. But the way Primi had to like evolve, man. I know his ult is Dimensional Drift, but it could be also called Evolution because Yuto wasn't hitting this guy. Bullets were hitting this guy. And he always seemed like he was at 100 HP, bro. Almost broke the kill record. I think it was like 6 away, 7 away or something. Sorry.
No, he did.
Close to breaking it. Oh, he did?
I thought he did break the BO3 kill record.
No.
Isn't the BO3 83 or 85? 83.
Oh, I thought the BO3 was 78.
Ospas was spinning harder, man. Ospas was spinning harder.
Yeah. Unlucky. He can't be Ospas.
But he doesn't have the legs. He has the arms. If Dombi has the legs to run, Primi's just got the arms to aim, man. And he was shooting. Like some of those sequences, 4K in one round into a 4K in the next. How? Genuinely how?
No, they were ridiculous. And he's so fast at being able to turn flashes too. I was watching him like turn away from some like pop flash play. I think this was actually even in the previous game that I'm thinking of, the round on Corrode, where he's just like, he's got somebody flashing like straight into his face, turning it instantly, and then coming back to kill another 4 people. But yeah, he mashed people in this game. That Breeze should have been an email where DRX very easily won. And for some reason, he wouldn't give up at the end. He was just like, just please accept that you've lost, bro. Accept that you've lost. And he's like, no, I shall hit another ace into 4K round to drag this to double digits. Like, save some of these for the next couple maps. And then he still had more in the chamber. It was ridiculous.
For the audio listeners as well, because now we have them. Just to give you a scoreboard update, Primi, 31 kills in that first map. Killua at 14, Jip Boys at 11, Leviathan at 9, and Ty at 8. To put it in context,
Ty VFL owner, let me know. Let everyone know. I was feeling it. That map.
Yeah. TMV's chat was asking him, would you rather have Def Durka or Jip Boys on your team? Like, that's how bad Jip Boys was getting diffed in that game. And TMV and I were unanimous. Def Durka.
Well, we picked Def Durka over a lot of people now. Def Durka is, I think, an above average VCT player at least.
Yeah, I think he might be.
That's a bit we got to talk about another time. But
we must get that in. Where does Def Durka rank in VCT pros?
But he was flying on all these maps, man, and he was bringing the whole team along with him. I'm not sure how sustainable this is, though, because now they're going up against a team that has just as equivalent firepower. It's a bit more structured to where like Primi would kill maybe the guy who was frying the hardest or the sentinel on the site. But Nongshim playing this way where sometimes it's full retake. Dombi's running in. Can Dombi even touch, or can Primi even touch Dombi? It's not like Gojo versus Sukuna levels of.
No, I think the biggest problem for Dombi is going up against absolutely cracked aimers, because I think a lot of the ways that he entries is that he's expecting to survive for longer than he should, right? Like, he utilizes the movement capability of Neon in order to throw even very good aimers, because I'm not saying that T1 aren't good aimers. Obviously they are. Like, there were some people calling this a super team, right? But like, they're good aimers. I would say Meteor's an excellent aimer. I think that the actual firepower, though, on Full Sense is higher than the firepower on T1, in my opinion. Like, the actual raw aim capability is gonna, I think, be a big problem for Dombi to get through. I think he's going to go for like slide shots where usually he'd be favored because people don't hit Neon when they're sliding very often. I think he's going to get whacked in a lot of those spots. I think he's going to be doing his like classic Neon hop in through the choke points. I think he's just going to get a headshot sometimes. I think that's actually going to be a problem for him in this game.
Yeah, no, it's facts. And the other big thing I want to talk. What was that? I think there's a fraud upon us. Fraud alert. Something's wrong. There's a little sussy going on. Probably top 3 worst kills of all time.
Oh god.
There's some teams that have done poorly that we're not talking about because they don't have Primi on it. He's not saving them on a Breeze map. They're just
big teams that are doing poorly. Teams that had some expectation are doing poorly.
Give me one, TMV. Give me one.
Huge teams.
Well, I mean, our show list here is a bit different, but I'm going to actually throw to a team that played yesterday that you watched, Shayo, wager. Team Heretics, because despite the fact that Team Heretics won their game against Dolph, you spoke earlier, Shayo, about games that you thought were going to be, you know, absolute giga stomps, get it over with, send me to sleep type games, and that one was not one. And coming off their first, their loss in their first game as well against Na'Vi, where they didn't look particularly great. You know, I mean, a lot of people are talking about, you know, comeback. He started off on Haven pretty rough. He kind of picked it up towards the end, but it was a pretty poor start from him, if I'm remembering rightly, against Dolph, despite the fact that they were winning every single round. And then, like, I do think, like, Woot had not a great game overall either. He's playing some Fade as well, like.
Well, let's put it into context, right? Like, or you finish your point real quick. My bad.
Well, I just think that this Team Heretics team, they look far off, I would say, from their peak.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would say they look like me on a Plat Chat episode, right? Come in, really cool intro, the analysis, what the fuck is guy talking about? And then they finally actually get to the point. Like, it was almost there. Kind of lost me. Okay, sure. That was like, I feel muddy about that, but sure, he made a point. Dude, the first 7 rounds, or was it 9 rounds? They were up 9-0 Team Heretics. You're saying Comeback was doing poorly. Comeback couldn't do anything. The rest of his team was just popping off. He would dash in. There was a really funny round. The observers like stuck on Comeback because he was 0-7 at this point. Like they were up 7-0. Comeback goes, dives in, his wall's up, wall comes down. All of Team Heretics is there to be able to shoot people. He tries shooting 2 people. Boo picks one up. Benji picks another up. He's got no kills again. 0-8. Like his team was just raising everyone. He was ready to shoot. And he finally gets 1 kill and the whole team celebrates. Like Benji's saying, good job, good job. He's like, shut up, please. Come on, don't pay attention to that, please. It's really funny. But what happened after, man? The overconfidence. Neki gets online for like the last 3 rounds. And then what ends up happening is Team Heretics are still acting like they're 1 round away from winning, playing against handless toddlers. They're just running in with the amount of confidence that shouldn't even be allowed and losing. Finally, they pick it back up. But by that point, dude, I'm not sure if it's Neki or who it is on Ulf. This guy's screaming so loud. My wife is waking up because she can hear his screams from my in-ears. That should not even be possible. Like at the end of every round, they're getting so hyped. The coaches are getting hyped that, yeah, Team Heretics are trying now that they've reeled it back in. But Ulf looks so confident. They're taking swings they would never take. Neki's hitting a 2K. Oh, Daz is now playing in smokes and killing 2. The sheriff equals are going well. And that's trouble because in Bind, Heretics come back. And I think I talked to TMV about this where it was the whole idea of they started playing against Ulf because they knew they were playing against Ulf. Play confident. They swapped over to holy fuck, we're playing a real team, play reserved. But it's fucking Ulf, guys. And now they're giving up too much. And Ulf has confidence. And now they look rocky again. To where they finally realize we're Heretics, we can do this again. They go on like a 7-round tear. They win the game. At that point, it was boring. But until then, some of the sloppiest things, and it shouldn't be that way. Like I like the confident Heretics to start, learn how to finish a game. If you want to be on Vitality's level, if you want to get the glaze like Yompi, you got to be finishing these games against Ulf, man. You can't just play hunky-dory the whole way through.
What did you think about the... because I didn't get a chance to see that game yet, but
yeah.
I did watch Heretics play against Na'Vi. And one of my big things taking away from that game when they played against Na'Vi was you can't have Comeback playing on Raze on these maps, like where you're asking him to hard entry. Raze on Bind originally, and then he went over to play the Waylay. I already think that that's still a little bit weird because like the guy is known as an op merchant, right? Like that's his big thing that he was doing a lot of when he was playing for BBL Pacific in Tier 2. And yet they didn't really have him opping very much, like kind of at all. In the first game, his Neon looked like decent on Haven. It sounds like there were some wiggles and wobbles, but it wasn't necessarily like all on his shoulders, so much as being a comedically bad stats performance. But the Waylay swap on Bind, was that actually moving the needle?
The scaling to like lamps wasn't the greatest all the time. I think a lot of his bolstering came from like he finally got an op. Like Team Heretics finally got used to like the way he wants to position and time himself, and he got like value from not op, but he finally got a scope, and he got the what's it called? He got the timing right with the scope, like on be long or short, where he finally started to get value. But nothing of it screamed Waylay. Could have done it on Jet, and it could have done it on any other character that like is able to get that elevation. Like there was no Waylay tech. Some of those ultimates from Waylay were also like off again because I don't think he's totally like in frequency to scale with them. Like this is the guy who likes to cause chaos, see how it shifts, and then pick things apart in it. He's not the one to get in the nitty gritty with it, right? And that's why the scope is so good on Comeback. He likes those long range fights. He understands the flow of the game more from that perspective. Waylay just seems like the wrong agent to have slotted in for that. And they were struggling on attack as a result. Like a lot of their defensive rounds were the reason they won that game, where Comeback actually got to get slotted in. And in the post-game interview with Nilzinho, he also talks about the reason we're kind of might be struggling right now is that we're just trying to get Comeback into this team. It's a different team from last year. We understand that. We're trying to get used to how he wants to play. Like whether that's a scope, whether whatever it is. And to me as well, it's not just Comeback. I know the best and easiest thing to say is Comeback's a problem. He wants to use the scope, not putting him on the scope. What is this Gecko pick from Rien's offering 0 value? Like, dude, half the time he's just watching Wingman plant. Fucking plant the spec yourself. Fuck it up, bro. What are we doing? I've never really seen the Wingman diffuse at all. Like, this pick is so outdated, I think, for 2026 as well. You could run the Sky instead, honestly, on this map for the drone and the heals if Comeback likes to fight more. They're much more, or much, there's a lot. English, man. There are many problems within this Team Heretics roster that I don't think are just comeback opping, and that was prevalent more on the bind. That was prevalent more on their overconfidence, because comeback played great in that Haven where they were up 9-0. Comeback played really good when set up on defense, but everything else is a Heretics problem. Like, everything else is not just a comeback problem.
Dude, I think we've also got to have a discussion about whether Benji Fishy is just a fucking a shit team farmer as well. Like, I feel like whenever the pressure increases, whenever the opponent that he plays against gets a bit better, I haven't seen him have a good game against people in a long time. Like, it's cool that he played a good game in this one, but I really need to see him have a good performance against a good team, because it's been a hot minute since this guy had a big game when it mattered. I mean, yeah, when the lights are bright. And I'm a big Benji fan. I want him to be really good, but at the moment he's the big fish in the small pond. He goes crazy. He's like a large goldfish. He goes crazy bullying people in his fishbowl, but you throw him into a lake and he's struggling. So who are they playing against next?
They play Giants, which is a great game, because Giants, I think, as well, are a team that had some expectation. I would say have slightly underperformed their expectations as well so far this year. So that is going to be an interesting game that could go either way, and whoever loses that game, we're probably going to feel pretty bad about, I assume.
This all started with Heretics Giants, right? Like, where in stage 2 Heretics were up 10-0 and Giants made the comeback. Am I wrong in assuming that, you know, some of the problems in EMEA's crazy swings started with these two teams, and if they pick split, holy fuck, it'll be cinema? But it's crazy. I'm not sure if you guys have more to say about Heretics, but another team I want to toss up that's not on our short list, that we must talk about. I was told, because you were going to avoid it, Foot. What's happening with Foot, TMV? What the fuck is up right now, man?
Why are you saying fraud alert for Foot? I mean, if anyone's the I mean, I was gonna send out a banger tweet if Foot beat Fnatic, because Mini on Planchet said to me, "Oh, I wasn't surprised that Foot lost their first game. I had them like the 10th best team in EMEA." And I was so ready to send that tweet at him. So off Fnatic 11th or 12th when Foot won. I was so ready for it. I actually came away from the Fnatic game feeling good about Foot. You call them frauds. Like, yeah, the first game was bad, but I do think that, like, looking back on the first game, don't get me wrong, Foot played poorly, but they were playing against the mates that they didn't know what. I feel like mates are a bad team to have no idea about what they're about to do, because, you know, they play in a very distinct style in EMEA with kind of, you know, their own kind of way. So I feel like that is actually a pretty hard matchup for first game for Foot. But this game against Fnatic, like, I think they should have won. I think their problem was they got into their own heads a little bit, I think, about feeling like they probably had seen how BBL had beaten Fnatic, which was by being aggressive and taking it to Fnatic and winning that. And then so they started doing that on split defense side, but they did it too much, too aggressively, too early. And so Fnatic was still just sitting there. I think what BBL did well was BBL realized, hey, we're playing Fnatic, be aggressive, but they're not going to come to you until like 40 seconds, right? You have to like sit there and wait for them. You can't like actually keep going all the way out to them, because then they'll just sit there and pick you off. That's what they're doing it for, right? So I felt like that is where Foot kind of got it wrong on split against Fnatic, because I think that was such a winnable game. And if they just don't throw some of those rounds, like, they easily could have won that game. And that was what was kind of most annoying to me in that game. But to flip it back on its head back to you, Shayo, what I'm going to say is, a team that we should be more worried about is, considering how people were so down on Foot, what the fuck is going on with Fnatic? Because in my opinion, if people don't run out at them directly like Foot did, they don't know how to attack any map.
Yeah, it's rough. It's actually insanely rough. The clock stopping thing, like the clock wind down all the way to 13 without even taking map space, has actually plagued more teams, I feel like, who started to do it as well internationally, man. It's a problem, Josh. It's actually a problem.
No, dude, it's horrendous. Now, I was watching the game against BBL, and when they were just getting, so it started off, they're playing on Breeze, and Larocque is wide swinging them in mid, but he's doing it like you're saying. He's doing it at, I want to say about the minute mark. I don't think he was waiting fully until Fnatic were like keeping up for their exec at 40 said whatever, but he's finding these mid-round timings to just swing them in mid, and he was cooking them. I mean, that's the other big difference by the look of it between this game and the next game is that Alphier goes, what is he, 5-17 or something on the final map on Haven in the BBL game versus clearly the highest fragging player on the server in the Fnatic game against Foot. So you've got a very big difference there. But I think that what was really concerning to me is that they were trying to play this slow-paced attack style, which in theory is good at teams who run at you, right? Because the overarching idea is we are going to hold positions, therefore when they int into us, we are ready, our guns are trained, we are the people holding the angle, so we get the kill. But actually, what was happening in that game was that Larocque was being able to swing them and find 1v1s, so they weren't doubled up on his position, and because Fnatic has spread the map and all trying to punish different areas, if the other guy can just than you, yeah, you might be favored because you're holding the angle, but like, bro is wide swinging you as Jet and deleting you because he's just better and you're having a bit of an off game. And then Milan is saying, yeah, we just need to slow the game down more and control the map in the coach interview after Breeze. And I was like, no, surely this isn't our answer. Surely this is not our read on what was going wrong. I was like, the thing that was going wrong for us is that our game isn't good enough right now to play the slow punish style when we're spread. So either you need to be grouped up and looking to punish a specific area more, or you need to increase the tempo because you can't hold the map for that long because your players aren't hitting the shots they need to. So like, I think they just had entirely the wrong read, and it's continuing to worry me. Like, I think there's a number of teams actually that are starting to worry me because they're exhibiting the same problems that they had in the previous year that are coming from the coaches and the players that, like, they're failing to grow. And I think that I'm not mad if a team is shit at the beginning of the year. In fact, I think that's to be expected. But if your main problems, if you're exhibiting the same flaws that have been plaguing you for a long time, why should we have any reason to believe that's going to change? Why would we have any reason to believe that you are going to get better over the course of the season if it's a problem that's been affecting you in the past and you seem to have made no progress on it over the offseason? And I think Fnatic are one of those teams where it's like, okay, guys, you are now throwing in a few fast rounds a half on your attack side. 2, maybe 3, but they don't look good. They look all in, 5 committed on one side of the map. It doesn't have the same level of, like, creativity to it that we're seeing from some of the other teams. And then your general play is, like, snooze-worthy slow. So I think they're one of the teams that are really... can I bring up another team, though, that I think is in a similar boat?
Yeah.
Because if you want to talk about slow-paced, boring play, LEV, what the hell is going on with LEV? Like, they've actually been plagued by owner. No, I'm not. It's not funny for me. I'm in Americas. I have to cast it. It's not funny for me. It's bloody brutal, man. And my only hope at this point, which is different to Fnatic, is that when Neon comes back in, he's such a more aggressive young player compared to PXS. My only cope and hope is that he's going to shift the team and they're going to be able to play much faster, looser, and a more aggressive style. I've got another small piece of cope, which is maybe they just haven't been scrimming with PXS at all with these new roles.
I think they've
but apparently they have. Apparently they've been playing a bit of both.
Yeah.
Then what the fuck are they doing?
Dude.
What are they doing, man? Why are they playing so slow? Why are they playing so boring? Why does nobody know what they're supposed to be doing? Why is PXS baiting everybody when he's the sub? Fucking send it in.
I mean, the follow-up to that is, why is owner not even playing the coach role? There's no timeouts. There was an entire half where they didn't even call a timeout and they were losing. That was crazy. Second thing is that, dude, I visited a church yesterday just to see how the other religions are doing, you know, keep my tabs on the space. I'm not even religious, by the way. I'm not even part. I'm more of like a, we'll get into my beliefs later, but anyways, I go in, right? And it's near Leviathan headquarters. I went and visited near Leviathan headquarters. Instead of Jesus, there was Neon. This guy has been put on a religious pedestal by the entire community, man. When Neon comes, when Neon resurrects, when Neon comes back, the water will turn to wine. When Neon comes back, your ailments will be cured. There's no way he's the all cure for Lev, bro. There's no way he's God. Like, come on, bro. What is going on with...
I'm still hoping. I've still got a religious
I'll put
faith
up a
that this is gonna.
Hey,
you have to understand, this is all we've got left. And the thing is, people like Sideshow and me have put PXS in their VFL team. We need this. We need this, bro. We need Neon to be the greatest player in the world. Because if he isn't,
No, but
save
if you
me.
watched him in the
Yes,
off-season, though,
Sideshow, you're right. I'm
was good.
I'm particularly worried because it's coming from Honor, and it's not going to change. Like and if it does change,
that's
it's going to
the
be
problem.
Neon running in on his own whilst King watches him go.
Dude, this is Neon's
it
first
doesn't
time
make
on the
any
stage.
sense.
Like, look at Wayne for Liquid. You're joining a roster that's so good, and you're a good player. Wayne's a really aggro, good player. There's nerves. There's, getting into the system. There's first game issues. Neon's gonna come in they're on 1 HP, and you're switching in Neon and Pokemon. You feel me?
But I
Like,
also, I don't care if Neon plays badly, right? Like if they lose and Neon plays badly, but they still tried to play the more aggressive style, they get rid of all of the boring, slow-ass defaulting, they're not baiting each other, they're not, like, getting caught out by everything on their attack side. I'm okay with that. If LEV lose, but they do it with some fucking dignity, I can handle that.
I mean,
if they
lose
still
the crew
play...
sub roster though, that'll be rough.
I have the pred that
Yeah,
crew
that would
sub
be
roster's
bad.
winning.
That would be bad. But
Yeah.
crew sub
but
roster
you
has been
love
playing, like,
Nags.
pretty free and loose.
I mean, Nags is the truth, bro. High sense Nags is Thanos. If that guy learned high sense, he would actually be Primmy. He would be Primmy inside North America. He has those rounds, dude. This last week, we saw some high sense Nags.
Next week we should start
Get
the
him off this
podcast
train.
with you going on about Nags and Al going about XDLL. Our goats.
Let's go. We have our players. Dude, TMP needed
Actual
XDLL to
negative
perform.
view podcast title: Is XDLL better than Nags?
2 views.
2 views. It's XDLL and Nags.
Yeah, it's the 2 of them. I want to... Okay, here's another team, though, that I think are exhibiting dangerous warning signs that they're doing the same shit over and over and over again. Carmen Corp. I mean, I think a lot of the hope narrative
You don't
was
even know.
that...
You don't even.
Well, yeah, because I didn't see the
don't
game
even
that you're
know.
talking
You
about,
don't
but
even know
I
how
already
bad it
know
is.
that they looked... I already know that it looked bad,
know.
and apparently it's got worse.
Oh my god! Well, this is a good sign, right? This is the thing about knowing about the Team Liquid game. The fact that they won a map tells you how bad Team Liquid were in that first map. That's what you need to know. The fact that first half of Breeze, they're up 8-4. I mean, to me, the funniest thing is they take a timeout at 7-1. They're 7-1 up. They take a timeout.
Josh doesn't know.
They ran one good round the entire half, which was then, and then they took a timeout. It genuinely looks like Eng is crypto throwing. Because why are you taking a timeout after your what? Like, they've run shit round after shit round, but Team Liquid can't win a 5v3. They're multiple 5v3s, 5v2s that they lose.
Yeah, do 5v2s.
And then KC finally run a good B exec, and like they just win a normal round. And then Eng's like, stop that.
That's not part of the plan.
Fuck
That's
that.
not part of the plan.
That's not what
you guys
we're
are
doing.
dying. Yeah.
You need to die first. And then what do they do next round? They fucking walk their Yoru up mid, recall star. Levin must think that it's a full smoke because he just fucking walks with his gun up towards mid and he gets shot from doors whilst the recall star dissipates. It's unbelievable. Like, this team, like, they have good players, and you see that because that Team Liquid game would not have been close if they didn't have good players. Because Sugetsu is winning 3v1s. You know, DOS9 is coming up with some nice plays. You got literally I would say everyone is chipping in when they're in like 3v5s. It's like they lock in all of a sudden, but their initial plans in the round are so atrocious. Like, it's like they can't speak to each other. This is Def Durka. They've got 5 Def Durkas, but they're not as good as Durka. I mean, it's unbelievable. It genuinely is unbelievable.
There's one round.
Oh, worried.
Oh, you need to be more than worried, my friend. Like, look, I am now working for Foot. I'm confident. I'm confident Foot are going to win that game. And if they don't, I'm having a meltdown. I'm viewing this Foot KC game like you would a Fnatic fan looking at the Foot game. Like, oh, that should be a win. Check that one as a win. Because as long as Foot don't fucking melt down like Team Liquid did in the first map, you should beat this team how they're playing right now.
There's a reason that Liquid melted down in the first map is because there was enough degrees Celsius on the side of KC that any ore would burn on the other side, man. They put Levin back on Jet. You had a Vez not on Phoenix, but someone else who can do exactly what
my God, the
a Vez
Phoenix,
wants to
bro.
do.
Why are we
KO,
on Phoenix?
dude, a Vez KO
Why are they so
is sick
Phoenix
because
build?
no, hear me out. They weren't Phoenix build on the first map. Josh, the first map was a 13-2-1 Abyss. Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah,
Vez
and
flashes,
dude, Levin's great on Jet. Like, put a Vez on KO. Like, I'm so down for that kind of stuff.
I mean,
yeah, because you can't
Team
team
Liquid
flash.
were
You
jumping
know
off
when
the
the
map.
flashes are coming. Like, it's amazing. Everybody, when a Vez is going in, by the way, you'll watch this on some of the A takes where he's just gonna toss him the flash up. People just sit back. They're like, oh, guys, a Vez is moving up. You can see the flash in his hand. Sometimes with Phoenix, you don't know what's going on. Cheers up, I got this. Whatever his voice line is, he'll toss that flash. I didn't even see that coming. When the KO moves up, you're like, give him some space, and a Vez will cook. Let him cook. Second map split. Yes, Levin was on some bad angles in general. But I just think that he should not be on Waylay. We don't need. I understand Waylay is a thing now.
Yeah, but
we
this
don't need
is a
Levin on Waylay.
problem. You've got a duelist who can only play Jet.
I like
yes,
the Yoru
it's a
though.
bad
His
pickup,
Yoru
bro.
is Yoru is flashback levels of have him around the map and let him up. No, it's
What
the
are we
the
talking
theme
about?
is
His Yoru
there.
was dog. His Yoru
I know because
was
they were
dog,
slotting
man.
him. They were slotting him to walk down mid and die. Just if he has the semblances of knowing how to TP.
Yeah, but you have to
He
play
has a
attack side.
sorry. He has a semblance of knowing how to
semblance of
TP.
knowing how to press E.
I know.
He
So
doesn't
we should
quite
play him
know
on
yet.
Yoru. Like, what is this guy? Your child? Is he your little baby that you are desperate to protect from all criticism?
I'm just saying, there's potential. There's potential for him to be able to Yoru op places. He doesn't need the rest of the tech.
Just
give
play
him a
Jet,
flash.
bro.
He
Just
has to
play
play
on
attack
Jet.
side because they're not, and no one else. What their
Then
other duelists
keep
they're gonna
him
play
on
is
Jet.
fucking
Jet.
Phoenix,
They
and then they're
have
gonna
to
fucking
watch that-
team flash everyone.
Then just
Right.
watch the Abyss VOD.
Well, don't play Phoenix,
Don't
bro.
watch
Don't
the
play
Abyss
Phoenix.
VOD. Go watch round 12 of Breeze and tell me that this team could ever win a map.
Because then the Vez will come in and say I can fix it. No, just make them watch the Abyss map over and over. This is what you must do.
Yeah, but you'll
KO.
see Team Liquid jump off the
Jets.
map like 3 times.
That was really funny.
I don't understand where this is coming from, that they are so obsessed with these weird niche comps that are not working. Their Phoenix Yoru idea is somewhat interesting, and they've tried it before, but trying to force it so frequently and so often rather than having it as a cheese pick occasionally, it's just bad. And I'm losing a lot of faith in coaches that I thought were very creative, interesting, like good coaching staff. But it's
I think that's the
yeah,
problem, right?
it's-
When you first
it's
bring
worrying.
out this idea, it's like new and interesting and cool. But when it just seems like your read on the game is Phoenix is good, that makes me think like, what are you doing? Because Phoenix is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
problem. Okay, oh, go on.
I was gonna say you talked about the coaches. Are the coaches a problem at GenG or is it the players? Because
Yeah.
they're also
See-
on Fraud Watch.
Yeah, see, GenG's on Fraud Alert, in my opinion, for the opposite reason. Because this is the players. In my opinion, this is the players. I'm watching the players have a fucking meltdown in this game. Like, it was unbelievable to watch, actually. Lakia forgot how to play Valorant. Like, as soon as it became a match in VCT rather than the off-season, he forgot that he had a gun that he could shoot. So that's kind of tragic. But more so than that, I think Ash actually just completely, bed covered in poo. Just absolutely shitting the bed on so many rounds. He missed a pull.
If only we had a
he
good
missed the
Astra
pull
player.
position. He missed the
only
pull
we had a
on
good Astra
Abyss.
player on that
Like,
team.
he completely missed where the pull was and,
Yep.
and it didn't do anything. Then on the next map, he turns the pull into a smoke instead. And Lakia misses the Tejo ult. So we have both Tweedledum and Tweedle fucking Dumber, who are both just trolling our post plants.
There's actually another
Because
one where
they
he's in a
can't use
1v1 but doesn't
pull.
escape to get his pull. Like he
It's
thinks about it. He like tries to run back sight, stops, and goes, "Oh shit, I missed it last time, so I'm not going to." When he could have
It's
done
like-
it, and I was losing my mind.
But it's got to be nerves or something, because I've seen Ash play all throughout the offseason. They actually played quite a lot in the offseason, right? Yeah. And I've seen him play last year, where admittedly it was a different role, but this guy is not a bad player. I've seen him perform really well. and I don't know what was going on in this match. I don't know whether maybe because it was higher stakes, they like were overcoming and complicating things too much, and people were getting, things were getting lost in translation or what. But like, Zinx played a pretty bad game, which, all right, he is your rookie and maybe he's going to pick it up later on. Lakia playing a bad game is concerning because I thought maybe he got over that in the offseason. Ash having the highest rating and yet trolling a lot of their rounds, though, is crazy to me because I think of that guy as being like a rock-solid, reliable player. I'm very concerned with GenG because the way in which they lost it last year was also them losing their heads. They got up like 8-4, 9-3 in a bunch of games and then they let it slip. So, like, you're opening the season with you flubbing a game against DFM. And by the way, trolling my VFL pick. I had 2 of you.
I think it might be an ego thing.
We've got fraud v fraud, potentially.
Someone on that team has to bend. I think that's what it is. Because if you look at some of their scaling on Abyss as well against DFM, people are like saying, yo, Kaide, what a good Veto game. Like, oh my God, that was so sick. Half the time, he's literally walking into a main and there's 5 people with their util out. There's 5 people trying to do something to activate the round. And it's not even good Veto gameplay. It's just he's catching an insane timing without even a TP behind him. Like, a lot of the things I'm looking at GenG for in terms of mistakes, you're talking about Locky not having his gun out. Everybody doesn't, because everybody thinks they have to be the first person to start the round, the first person to be rifling in. So then when everybody rifles in, there's no supportive util that comes in. They all just die. Someone on this team has to be the supportive player. I don't know who it's going to be, because usually Texture can take that hit and do a lot for the team, especially when he's on Yoru as well. It's not happening. Like, they're not clearing basic corners. They're not approaching and scaling well at all. And it's GenG not scaling well. That's crazy, man. On Icebox, I know there were some upsets of like last year in general, a map where you need to be perfect in terms of scaling. That's all the map is. They looked really good. They were one of the best teams on that map. I don't know what's happening in this year, whether it's like the map changes so much to where they're not understanding like how to play Abyss anymore. Pearl as well is something to where I feel like they're just slotting in things rather than doing the thing that they think is best. Lakia Tejo, I don't care for it. If Sova's a better pick, go for Sova. If you like Fade, go for it. But the man doesn't know what he's doing, man. The iPad is uncalibrated. The touchscreen's sticky. I don't know what it is. Get him off the fucking iPad, baby agent. Go for the bow and arrow.
What I'm just realizing is we haven't put T1 in here, so let's just pray that T1 beat GenG. Because most people will watch this by the time they've played, and so if GenG win and T1 lose and they're the ultimate frauds, everything we just said about GenG,
I'd love that.
Put it on T1.
No, I'd love that. Because here's the thing, though. GenG actually are different, in my opinion, compared to the others. Because I liked the game plans that I was seeing in a lot of the rounds. And I thought they had, like, sensible positioning. And, like, they just, to me, when I was watching, it looked like a massive individual underperformance. Like, they were just choking or nerves got to them or, like, something like that. So I think if GenG turn up in their next game and their heads are in a better state, I think they'll actually end up being a good team. It's not the same as like a Casey or a Lev or a Fnatic where there's something fundamental with their approach to the game that is wrong. Like, I think it's not that. So it's fixable. It's as long as the players are not.
Well, this will be a good test individually.
Shook.
Yeah.
T1.
Oh, it's fact.
Let's end the show with a positive spin. Let's end the show. Let's just one word, one team quickly. One team that we've been excited to watch and are happy to see doing well.
Josh?
Oh, don't start with me.
Oh, yeah, true, my bad. TMV?
Okay.
TMV?
Okay, I'm going to go for Gentlemates. I personally just dig the way that they play.
Based.
I think I like Starkso. We were both on Ascend way back in the day. So I've always liked Starkso. And I just enjoy the way that they play. To me, they feel like the EMEA team who understands like what is going on right now and how you should play, which is, pretty fast, pretty loose, like cool fakes going on as well, double fakes also, like just cool games. And I'm glad to see them doing well.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go for 100 Thieves. Been really fun to see their growth even through loss. They're one of the teams that are cool to root for because they're not part of the big 3 wall. Timo's the truth. I've liked the system that, he's hard carrying on Waylay. It's abusable. So like, it's interesting to be like, if a team comes in and abuses Timo's reliance on Waylay, how does the rest of the team look? That's really interesting. And the story for these guys, they're going to be one of the teams that might qualify this year to a LAN, and they'll usurp the big three, which is a really cool story. Shout out to NRG in the big three though. Kiko Claus, I love it, and the team looks so fucking good. Can't wait to watch them play.
Josh,
I'm going to
have
give
some
you
time?
global esports. Yeah, now that I've had some time to think about it. I agree with the channel mates pick as well, because I think if I was thinking about EMEA, they'd be, but yeah, global esports I've really liked almost everything that they've showcased. In terms of the ideas, they still look sometimes a little rough around the edges, but I think that that's a good place to start from. Autumn looks good on the duelist. Yudotan's making the best use of Veto out of... I haven't seen Seven's game, to be fair, for Pacific, but out of everybody else, I've been liking what Yudotan's been doing more and more and more. I think he's got like good ideas of how he wants to use the trip and the ults and that kind of stuff. And the team are fraggers, man. The team are also fraggers. Like they are willing to take fights to people. They look skilled. I think this is certainly the year that they're going to make playoffs. Outside of something
that would
going
be insane if they
badly
did make playoffs.
wrong, yeah. But I mean, obviously, they don't have a chance necessarily to do it like right now. So the meta could shift or whatever. But like they look good, and I think real credit to Frost too for being able to pick up another team and start to run with it early.
Yeah. Okay.
Facts.
Shall we end it there then? Shall we go?
The big departure. We're about to all go watch EMEA or do whatever the hell we're gonna do. TM, you have anything going on this week?
Village. She's probably gonna what?
I already did that
True.
this morning, actually.
Let's meet some sheep or something.
I hate how correct you are. I mean, yeah. I had to guide a sheep back into a field earlier on because it had escaped and was starting to run into the town, and our dog was chasing it. Well, not chasing it. It was on the lead, but it was like, making it run in the wrong direction. So we had to guide the sheep back in the correct direction. So I hate how accurate that is. We're out here living our hobbit life.
Yo, follow the podcast on the offline or the off video platforms. Drop a comment.
Just go and follow everywhere. Whatever you've got, we're on it. Go follow.
Drop a comment. I want to know what your favorite team is so far in the VCT and why. Nuanced comments. Give me nuanced comments. And also tell TMV to oil up.
And
We'll see
leave
you
a
guys
review.
soon.
Leave a review on our podcast too, because I mean, if it doesn't even have to be anything exceptional. You don't need to go into a detailed paragraph about how you love the allegories of Sideshow, herding sheep.
They're gonna say that word for word now. They're gonna say that word for word.
You just need to write something like 5 stars. Sideshow is bold. That's all you need to put. We'll take that.
We'll see you soon. Take it easy and keep your milk in your cereal.